All right, here's a quick recording of some opinions. Well, I recently listened to an interview of Mike Adams. I'm not going to put it up for you. I'm sorry, but I listened to it, and you might have you might have listened to the previous Mike Adams recording I recently just put up. Well, it was very different. Okay. Now I understand that it's that people, when they don't have facts, that they, and even if a person has facts, that the way things are said or assumptions made about things can create an effect upon those who listen. Okay. Well, that was done in the previous video I recently posted of a Mike Adams interview, Health Ranger. Well, like I said, just listened to a different interview, and I would like to point something out. This seemed to be very different. Um, it was like, let's put it this way: Mike Adams, I think, predicts between 45 and 100,000 people die from coronavirus, COVID-19. I mean, and maybe a higher level, we might have somebody else might predict up to 200,000. Well, like to point something out. A lot of these people have pre-existing conditions. I think it's 90% or more, and they're practically hanging on already in the first place. This just is something that makes them, knocks them over the cliff. Okay, and what is it? The average flu, 90,000 people die in a year. So yes, this one is in relation to that would be, if this kills 200,000, it's about twice as thorough. But to shut down a whole economy, to shut down, I mean, unless something's not hasn't played out yet that I don't know about. This is just what I thought it was in the first place, a joke. Yes, people can get sick. Yes, people will die. Yes, people will get sick. So what? I probably have gotten sick from it. But the point of it is, a lot of these people are so bad off. They're probably gonna. There's. I'm not saying I'm like they don't matter, but I'm just saying that what's causing more harm. And on top of that, a lot of these people who have died from it, a lot of their problems they may have with their health might have been caused by themselves, such as eating terrible foods, being in doing things that cause them to be in physical bad condition in the first place, whatever those things might be, such as doing harmful drugs, bad habits. Now, stress that a person might have, sometimes you have to be in certain situations to make a living. I understand that, and some situations can be stressful, and such as some jobs you have to deal with people. Sometimes you might have to deal with people that are retarded. I understand that, and it can cause some stress. And I'm not ripping on those who are worn down because of that, but I'm just saying. So what I'm trying to get to is the main point of this recording is that I have to call, and Mike Adams probably wouldn't like this, but I'm just saying it as it is from what I see. In relation to the both of the videos, the recordings I listen to, I gotta do a fearmonger alert. Okay, I gotta do a fearmonger alert. If you listen to the recent recording that I put up regarding Mike Adams, now that is kind of can scare a person. Okay, but from what I get out of it in relation to the second interview, and what I've heard around, the guy was just scaring that he's scaring people, and it's really not that bad in relation to what he was putting out. So what if it's combined? If you have a version of coronavirus combined with HIV, MERS, and SARS, that is very communicable, meaning it can be easily transferred from person to person, and it can mutate. Okay? Okay. But if it only takes out that many people, it's not that bad compared to, compared to the regular flu. And on top of that, yes, you might get sick from it. So what? I mean, it's, you're not dead. And on top of that, we hear about this thing called war. We're having a war on the virus. The virus is just doing its job. It does what it does. It's a life form. It's living. And we're not there's no a war. Do these people forget what a war is? World War II is very, give me a break. And World War I is very, give me a break. Those are wars. Millions of people died. It was terrible. And, and I can think of at least a couple things which the United States government had the military, U.S. military do, and they killed at least, I think on 2 different occasions, 1 million people at least in the Middle East that I think didn't do anything wrong, or were not guilty. Like in 2003, they killed at least 1 million innocent people to an extent. Probably a lot of them were innocent. And they don't talk about that, but 200,000, we might get that much. And the virus is just doing its thing. It's like, and on top of that, worshiping the medical people. I'm going to hear something I got to point out here. Now, I'm not ripping on all medical people because there are some good ones there, but the majority of them are there for the money. That's why they have the job. That's why they did it. And they thought they were secure. Someone's always going to get ill. So I'm going to have a secure job. At least I have a chance for security if I'm willing to do it and get more people in there so I can get more bang or some more buck. That's how it's rigged up. Okay. The drug companies love it because the medical system is rigged around prescribing drugs, so they make tons of money. The more drugs they can get people on and have a continuing customer, both the drug companies and the medical people bank. They get money from both things, from continuing customers for the medical people and continuing customers who buy the drugs. So when this comes along, we're hearing about the soldiers on the front lines. They're not in wars, dude. This is not a war. They probably don't. A lot of them probably don't walk off because that's their job, and I'm not sure if they know how to survive or feel they could, or they wouldn't be doing nearly as well if they left their job. So they stick it out, and they also probably know themselves that most people are not going to die from it. They might get sick from it, and some are going to die. Hopefully, it won't be them. So I don't get into that worship cult. So there you go. There's some more views.